Is it worth having someone come in to stage the home?
It really depends on your market. So the Charlotte market has been a seller's market up until the past couple months. It'd go on the market, and before the end of the day, you'd have multiple offers. So in that situation, I don't see the benefit of staging. It's slowed down a little bit here, but it's still a good market, and Charlotte's projected to be strong in 2023. If you're in an area where homes are selling slower, it may be a good idea. It's never a bad idea to have a stager come to your home. And even if you don't do a full on staging, they can offer you other services like helping you edit your home, repositioning things that you already have, taking personal items off of the walls to help that buyer better vision their their things in the home. So stagers provide a very valuable service, um, depending on your market, but you don't necessarily need to do the full blown, get all, your things out, new things in.
Would it make more sense to speak to the realtor first and just say, hey, based on your experience, what's happening in my market? And do I need to hire a stager? And
Mhm.
then, or do you talk to the stager first?
Well, the realtor is going to be able to give you an idea of how long you can expect your home to be on the market based on other sales in your area. They'll do a competitive market analysis and say, okay, in this neighborhood, homes tend to stay on the market 15 days or 90 days. So that's going to help you. And these homes are selling at a 100% or more of the ask price. So that tells you, okay, it's a hot market. I probably don't need to do that. Or if it's a slower market, then yeah, we may need to look at some things like staging. And there's actually virtual staging now. So if your home's vacant and there's no furniture in there, you can do virtual staging, which is, I guess, AI generated furniture that is placed into the home to kind of help buyers see it online and what it might look like. But yeah, talk to your realtor to see what your market trends are like, and then usually your realtor is going to have a couple of suggestions from stagers that they've worked with.
Oh, I love that. Here's the thing, for most homeowners, they don't sell their homes every day. And so
Right.
it's a once every 10 or 20-year process. And so to find a stager and then try to work with somebody, I think, like you said, work with somebody that the realtor knows, because if they're working together, they're probably both on the same page as far as, oh,
Yeah.
here's what's trending in the market right now. Here's what we know we need to have. We need more plants. We need more of this or whatever. And
Right.
they can help you help yourself instead of
Yeah.
just, you know,
Yeah, your realtor should be able to should have relationships with stagers and home inspectors and tradespeople who can help you make repairs. A lot of these are DIY projects, but you may have something that you need a licensed professional in, and your realtor should be able to help you make those connections.
well, let me ask you this question then, because this just occurred to me. Does it make more sense then to do all of these repairs before you call the realtor? Because if the realtor comes and sees that, the bottom of your door has like some discoloration or whatever, if you then hurry and do the repairs between now and the time they list your home, are they going to forgive you for that? Or are they going to remember that you had repairs and the toilet was leaky and underneath the bathroom sink was leaky and all this stuff? Is that going to be held against you, or
Well, no, your realtor really is just there as your advocate. So if you know things need to be done, just go ahead and do them. And then you can say to your realtor, hey, by the way, we just replaced this, we just replaced this, we just did this, we did this. And your realtor may even put together a list of added benefits for your home or key features of your home that will include, we just replaced this toilet with low consumption, something like that. But
uh-huh.
no, feel free to start making those repairs yourself, doing things, because very often people think, okay, I'm going to put my house on the market in the next year. So go ahead
Uh-huh.
and start some of these things, and just let your realtor know what you've done.
Virginia SO8 says, if you've moved out of state and your house has been empty on the market for more than 30 days, is it necessary to have a cleaning service? Is the house on the market? And if the house is on the market, my suggestion would be yes. Because when people come to the house, you got people walking in and out, and you don't know if they walked in on a rainy day, if they tracked stuff in on the carpet. You don't know if they came in and they ran their hands in the kitchen sink, but they left the water in the sink, and now there's like splotchy water in the sink that could then have crystallized or turned into a hard water look. You don't know if the toilets have built up a ring around them. And oftentimes, even if nobody's been in the house, like we ask people to please flush your toilets at least once every couple of days, even in those bathrooms that you're not using in your house, and run the brush around where the ring is so that the rings don't build up in the toilets. Just because water's flowing through the house doesn't mean it's not going to leave a ring somewhere. And the last thing you want is a new buyer that hasn't been in the house for, I don't know, it's been on the market for 30 days. You bring a new realtor with a new buyer and they come in the house and you've got stuff tracked in from the last person. You've got water spots that have been there for a couple of days. Maybe the dishwasher smells bad when you open it. There are things like that. If it's been wet it was wet on the last cycle and you hurried and moved out, it's been in there for a month and nobody's opened it up and no air is circulated through that. There are things that can happen in a house, as well as you don't know if like maybe a rodent got inside the house and they left poop in there, or even if they died in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, get somebody on the ground and get them in the house just to make sure that your house, and I mean, you're going to pay a couple $100 for a cleaning service to come in and go through the whole house again. But that couple $100 could be the difference of you selling your home and not selling your home. Right. So when you're in that selling process, you want to give all the chances you can to have people come in and just say, yeah, this is what we see. This is what we want.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's just always good too to have another set of eyes on your home. What if there was a leak and that cleaning service caught it, or just to have somebody else helping you keep tabs on things.
Karen has a great suggestion. She says, although a lot of people may already do this, saving paperwork when you get an appliance, fridge, water heater, mower, leave these for the next homeowner. And I love that.
Yeah.
And my suggestion and recommendation is usually in the kitchen, there is a drawer that is close to the refrigerator. But inside that kitchen drawer is where we put all the warranties for everything. That way, when repairmen come and they leave you their cards, like, oh, hey, here's my card, that goes right inside that drawer. If you ever need touch-ups for hardwood flooring, if it's an appliance warranty, all that stuff is easy to find. And if somebody were to come in, for example, like let's say that the homeowner had moved out of the house and the house was on the market for 30 days, you could have all that stuff still in that same drawer. And when you send in somebody remotely, they know exactly where to look for that stuff. And you just say, hey, it's in that first drawer right there to the right of the fridge.
Along with that, if you've got vendors who have serviced, who've done a refrigerator repair or HVAC maintenance or repair, or a plumber that you have used who knows your home, knows your systems, attach that along with them. And, if you've had a certain pest control company coming out to your house for 5 years, I'm new to that home, I'm just going to keep the service that you've got so it's uninterrupted. So if provide that information as well would be great for the buyer.
AV Couponer says, I also include a list of names, addresses, and telephone numbers for a nearby grocery, dry cleaners, clothing store, hair salon, plumbers, etc. And that's
awesome.
Just awesome, especially for somebody new that's just moving in. We do the same thing in the house cleaning industry. We take a checklist with us. And as we clean the house, we leave a checklist for the person that's paying us. And we take that checklist. And do you remember how I said all of your warranties are right there in that drawer? And the realtor knows that it's there. We put our checklist right on top of it. We say, hi, welcome to your new home, or the house cleaning area in your home. We just cleaned your house. And if there's anything that doesn't meet your satisfaction, call us. We'd love to come back and make it move in ready for you. We'd like to welcome you to your new home. By the way, and they're looking at everything that we checked off, and they're looking at, has our prices, it has our contact information, it has our rules and regulations. And what do you know? We get the bid usually for being the house cleaner for that new homeowner that just moved in. Oh, wait. And the people that just moved out are our recommendation because we did the move out clean, but we also cleaned their home while they were living there. So what happens is, as they meet all their new neighbors, guess what? We service the neighbors' houses as well. So it's a great way to pick up business. And just because a customer moved doesn't mean you lost the job. Maybe you just picked up a new customer.